Are you concerned about mixing the inventory?
Algernon Cash is in constant conversation.
At about an average guest check of about $10.
As an entrepreneur, he's always talking to other business people about opportunities and how to execute them.
I've got to set it up in a way that...
But his most important conversations are the ones he has at home with his only child, 17-year-old Ariana. What are the conversations you're having with Ariana these days?
They're far more mature nowadays, sometimes I'm not sure if I'm ready for some of the conversations that we are currently having. And I just sort of had this image of her when she was still 8 years old and having to ride in the back seat. But she's riding up front with me, and we're sitting at the bar having dinner and talking, and she's asking me serious questions. And but to be honest with you, I also enjoy it. Ariana is in the middle of applying to colleges, so that's a big part of what they talk about. But there are other things going on in the world that can't be avoided when you have a background like Ariana's. My daughter happens to be interracial, and so with a lot of the racial conversations that have happened in the last year, she and I've had some conversation about that in dialogue.
On Wednesday, jurors heard from Charles McMillan, who was on the sidewalk during Floyd's struggle with police.
And so for my daughter, a lot of these things that she hears on television or the various national conversations that are going on about race, it's confused her before because she's got a white grandmother and she's got a black grandmother. And loves and is loved by them both.
You know what I'm talking about?
Similar conversations go on in the Moyer home. Yeah, what's dinner time like at the Moyer
news
house?
We're watching the news, and I think they're at an age now where they're seeing the George Floyd cases and things of that sort, and having an African-American son, I have to teach him those things that you have to take extra precautions, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel that we have to worry about police officers more than anyone else. So those conversations have, changed.
I can tell you that my wife and I worry more about our daughter than our sons just because of the nature. But it sounds like in the African-American community, it's almost flipped. You have to worry more about your sons.
He's not at the age where he can drive or anything of that sort, but it's conversations like, make sure you have your phone. If any altercation comes on, make sure you can have your phone rolling. See if you can call your mom.
Kind of make a parent angry, though.
Yeah, it does.
Como que a gente vai usar as cores da aquarela?
When Flavia Nazareth came to America from Brazil and opened an art studio in High Point, she felt the name Little Blank Canvas was an apt metaphor for her life.
The metaphor, if you will, was how I was feeling when I moved here. I had all the possibilities, but the overwhelming feeling of looking at this blank canvas and oh my gosh, I can do so much and anything. And that is only amplified with her only child, Olivia. What conversations do you have with Olivia these days? What does she want to talk about? The world, about the pandemic, about what? Well, we talked about where do we go, to see my family. When are they going to be able to come? She was just mad the other day for not being able to have friends over or something, and then we're talking about the pandemic. She's like, I want my life back. I want to feel normal again or something.
And Flavia has noticed that there are ways in which the pandemic has changed Olivia, at least in the short run.
One recent conversation we had was about the effort. She's going through a time now where she just expects, I think, things to come naturally and easily to her. And then suddenly things are starting to change. And if it requires a little bit of effort, she will probably, maybe I want to quit. So there has been a conversation about perseverance and the passion, what it means to you to accomplish something.